So this is about propaganda and the manipulation of people, and there is no greater form of mass hypnosis than what is currently being practiced throughout America in particular, and that is the ads for drugs that have never been used before. And they give you two choices. That's the purpose of it. They give you the images of how happy we can be, how great this is, and then they talk to you about how awful this is and how terrible this is, and you have to choose either to believe in it's happy or it's horrible. It's one or the other. You can't choose both. You have to choose one or the other if you're going to use these things, or you have to completely discard it as absolutely false. And then of course if you do that, then you fear the cost of what that means. In other words, if you need the medicine, you have to believe in the medicine. And if you won't believe in some of the medicine, then you don't believe in any of the medicine. And the reality of that is that you have to choose. So the mass hypnosis of that is that if you choose to believe that all medicine is good and you can, the consequences of using this medicine cannot happen to you, which is of course absolutely necessary to the whole idea of healthcare, how they're going to heal us, they are our saviors, that kind of thing, then you have to discard the whole business. So the end result is that people are mass hypnosis. You have to believe, so you do believe, and you have to fear the cost of being in a disease and needing medicine, so you have to fear, and you do fear. And that means you're going to obey what they tell you to believe and discard what you don't want to believe, which is that there are costs to these things, that there are consequences to the things that you put inside your body, that you don't have control over that, they don't have control over that, and you're not going to get control over that, and it can in fact kill you. Nobody wants to believe that, so they don't believe that. They believe it'll be happy. And of course that gives the whole hypocrisy of leadership control over you, because they tell you what to do. You fear the consequences of what you're not going to do, and then you have to believe that this is the right thing to do, as with COVID. COVID is a simple proof of a slightly different form of mass hypnosis, which is that constant repeat of COVID, 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 COVID for the next year, 24 hours every day for a year or more. Believe, 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 fear, 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 obey, damn you, obey, because we say so. And that, of course, ended up with, as it all does, with the university gets whatever it wants. They get trillions of dollars with COVID. They get trillions of dollars with any drug that they produce. And they elect for themselves the fact that you can't take us to court because we already told you that there are consequences to this, so you don't have a case. You chose to do it. But that's not true, because they didn't give you any statistics to these consequences. They didn't tell you that 1 out of every 3 is going to die from this. They're going to tell you that 1 out of every 300 is going to have cancer from this. They didn't tell you that 1 out of every 10,000 or so is going to experience horrible, horrible, horrible things. Just like they didn't tell you that COVID was a lie, a purpose to, in fact, remove the limits and the boundaries of law that said they can't, go beyond this point with their genetic mutilation of life. And so the end result of COVID was that they got at least $16 trillion. That's $160,000 per each and every one of 100 million people. $160,000 from each and every one of you for a lie. A lie. They created the disease. We know they created the disease. There is no such thing as they didn't create the disease. They created the disease. They deliberately unleashed it. Whether it was Chinese or American or whatever, the university created it. The university released it, and it doesn't matter because the university is throughout the earth. millions and millions and millions of people working in university. And of course, they're not really working in university. When was the last time you saw a university do anything? Any university, they create a illusion of work, and they take any and every opportunity to claim everything and say, this is our fault, this is what we did. But of course, they don't accept any responsibility for what they do. And they don't accept any responsibility for what they have done. And the end result, of course, is that we have a propaganda of media which is controlled by university. University graduates run the media, they run the government, they run the courts, they run the policing, they run religion, they run it all. Without a diploma, you don't get to be a leader. So when we look at, they claim everything, we'll give them that claim. You caused it all. And of course that means that they caused the extinction, the threats that surround us and so on. Global warming, it's a blanket statement. And it doesn't mean that every diploma is bad, it doesn't mean every diploma is good by any means, and it does mean that, that you believe. Because without belief you have to question the leadership, and if you question the leadership, well, that's a problem. Now I have to actually work. Now I actually think for myself. Now I'm responsible. And it is like for 50 years I said to the people, there are consequences of this. And they all said back, don't tell me nothing. I don't want to know nothing. You can't make me guilty for this. I'm innocent. I don't know nothing. You can't make me. You can't make me. I'm not going to pay a penny. No, sir. I'm not going to go and do nothing. Because I want to do whatever I want to do. And that's all there is to it. And of course, the purpose of that is to avoid any detection of reality. Don't need no damn reality if you don't have any choices in it. So therefore you are free, right? You're free because you don't have a choice. You're free. Can't blame me, but that's not true. You do, you take the drugs, and of course, there's all kinds of lies in the drugs, and of course, a consequence of university controls, the courtroom, is particularly horrible, because the end result is, today's world, the fear of being sued is what causes doctors to cut off your arm or your foot or whatever it is, because they are afraid if something goes wrong, and 1 in 10,000 die from this, or whatever it is, they're going to get sued for, $1 million or $1 billion or whatever it is that the universities can take, because that's how they control the entire society. We'll threaten you. We'll make you fear. We'll make you believe that there is no solution for you. You are our slave, because that's what we say in a courtroom, and we'll take you to prison, we'll clean you out, we'll make you a slave. It doesn't matter. They're in charge. And of course that's what all the leadership of every war, of every army has ever been. It's just passed along to the others. This is an intellectual war, and that means that it's a hidden war. That means that an intellectual simply means that I can create a trap, or I can identify a trap. And of course the universities exist to create traps. That's what the university does. You can take one look at the 1040 U.S. tax form, the long form, and know their whole job, their whole purpose, their whole existence is to create traps, to create a maze, because that's what the 1040 form is. You have to turn the page and go back the page and divide by half and put it here and put it there and put it everywhere, because they want you lost. They want you completely dissolved of any responsibility because you don't understand. Therefore you can't question them. And they can run you around the maze until you die and until you're completely broke. They can do that with anything and everything. They did that with the patent office. We're going to charge you $365, that's what it started with, and a week or two later it was $8,000 plus. And of course if I contend with that, that just means that they're going to run me around the maze some more. until I get broke, or until I pay so much money I cannot afford to do this anymore, until I give up, so that they can have whatever they want. Whatever they want. They don't do anything for us. I have a problem with tinnitus because of decisions that were made after my little nephew died of a brain tumor. So the end result of that, of course, is that I experience noise different ways than you do. And you have to ask, well, why in the hell do I need to experience all this noise when there is so much better choices out there? And the end result of that is because the people who are in leadership don't care, don't know how. And of course the end result of that is that to accomplish this particular purpose, it is that, you know, you can't manufacture or sell something in this United States unless it meets at least 3%. You have to be within 3% of the silence of something that is the best that we can do, or you can't sell what you have. We know that you can create. We know that things that are silent, or things that work well, much better for humanity, exist, so you have to meet that qualification or you can't build it. What is wrong with that? And that covers a wide gamut of things. And that covers, you know, and I was in a new pickup here some years back, went for a mile, and it tore my ears up into pieces because it had the wrong frequency to it. And that means that it's the wrong frequency for you too. But anyway, manipulation and mass hypnosis are about things that we have to create or they want to create an actual decision. Because a mob exists because we've identified the enemy. That's what a mob is. We've identified the enemy, and of course if you can create one single enemy so that the people, so that humanity can say, I know how to get rid of this problem. I'll just kill that enemy. And so they do as a mob, if you can convince them all at the same time that this is the enemy. And there are mob managers that try to create the enemy by ridicule. Ridicule is the form of trying to create, yeah, I believe. And then of course that means that you have to, after you believe, you have to create the enemy. You have to fear him or her. Fear them. And then of course it becomes obey the rule that we have to do this together. And a mob forms after that and trumps off to do their horrifying deeds. And of course that is what armies are about, and that's what leadership was about. Because the army is about either you kill them or we'll kill you. That's what an army is. Either you kill them or we'll kill you. You have no right to argue with the leader. You have no right to argue with this is a good thing or a bad thing. You have no argument with we're going to get killed from this. They say do it anyway and shove a gun in your back. Because they want you to, you know, the leadership always has to surround itself with hate. Because if you want to control the army, you have to have hate. And if you have hate, that means that there's a band of murderers around the leader that says, you know, I'll kill them. You can depend on me. I'm ready. I'll kill them. If they don't obey what you say, I'll kill them. So there you are, you know, and to take that away, we have to have a law of a nation, law of a world. If we don't have law that controls the leader, we don't have any say, and tyrants form because they do have weapons and they can make you fear because they can kill you and because they do employ murderers to do that. They do employ torture and so on, and prisons and so on, and slavery and so on to do that. And then of course we have all the media that wants you to, is there to make you believe. Make you believe. And one of the things that they make you believe in this nation has been, over the last few years, is, you know, believe that the white man is bad because of slavery 100 years ago. Well, what the hell did you do 100 years ago? And the end result of slavery is that even though people bought slaves to do their work, because that's what slaves do your work. That's what the slavery of money is about today. Let him do my work. The end result is that that it's a banker thing. Bankers created slavery. It wasn't white men, or it was bankers. And the Civil War is about, you took all my tools away, now I'm going to lose my farm and everything else. It's a foreclosure thing. It's a banker thing that caused the Civil War. And of course it was white men that freed black men in the Civil War. It's white men fighting white men. How is that not something to be dealt with? How is that not to be, you know, fools and failures and ridicule and bastards and liars and cheaters and thieves and whores and terrorists and traitors and all of it, university born.